If I restarted my jewelry business from zero tomorrow, I would do these 7 things in this exact order. And buying jewelry supplies is not number 1. It's number 4 after 3 things that most people skip completely. I'm Ariel, over 10 years of selling jewelry online, live marketplaces, every single platform that you can think of, but today I'm selling jewelry on my own website. 6 of these things are practical, and the 7th is one thing that most people never do. I'll show you at the end, because I did all of these things and learned the hard way. I made products that didn't sell, I bought things I didn't need, and I spent a lot of time on things that customers didn't care about. The first thing I would do is decide who I'm making jewelry for. It's great to start off with a target market, not just every single person who enjoys wearing jewelry. That's going to be too broad. So I would pick a specific person, a specific occasion, or a specific direction that you're going for, and that will give you some insight on how to start designing your first collection. So for example, people who love personalized jewelry, meaningful gifts for moms and daughters, you could do bridesmaids jewelry. You're not signing a lifetime contract. And when you are designing a piece kind of for everyone, your brand will feel very disconnected. So it's good to start off with the target market. You don't want customers to not be able to tell why they should buy from you, and you want it to be memorable. Okay, number 2, I wouldn't start off with a large collection of like 30 to 50 pieces. I would definitely start off with a smaller collection of maybe 5 to 8 pieces. And inside of that, you can have a hero product, which would have the clearest appeal. So that would have the strongest story and the best chance of stopping someone's scroll. You want them to see it and be like, wow, I have to have that piece, and it has to really stand out to them. So if the hero is a customizable charm necklace, then you can offer some simpler options like a charm bracelet. You could do a simple charm necklace. You could do some options that they can give for gifting. So this will make your photography, your product pages, your content, and your launch so much easier. And you're not tying up all your money in materials before people can decide if they want the product or not. A small collection isn't necessarily less professional, but a small collection of unrelated products, that would be less professional. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I see, is that you make a product, you look to see what other similar products sell for online, and then you price your product similarly to that. That's not the way that you should be pricing your products. Before producing anything, you really have to work out what every product costs, and a lot of things end up going into that. So you're gonna have the materials, you're gonna have the time it takes to make, you're gonna have the packaging, you're gonna have the payment fees, you're going to have the website or the marketplace fees, you're going to have shipping supplies, you're going to have any mistakes along the way, you're going to have any damaged goods, you're going to have the general cost of running your business. So you have to factor all of those costs into just one product that you're pricing. You have all of those costs that go into it. So if a necklace costs you $18 to make and you want to price it at $36, you're not necessarily profitable because you have all of those other costs that are going to be associated with that. And you also need to factor in your time, because your time is not free. So that also needs to be factored into it as well. Then you have to ask, will the customer I picked realistically pay this? And does the piece look and feel worth it? Can I make it efficiently enough to earn a real profit? So if the numbers don't end up working out, then you have to change the materials, you have to change the process, you might even have to change the customer that you're selling your items to. A business can't survive if the only way to make a sale is to underpay yourself. Buying supplies is not building your business. I would recommend starting small and starting small orders when you start. I'd order small quantities from several suppliers so that you're able to test out these orders before ordering any big batches. You definitely want to test out how the materials look in person, how they wear, whether they tarnish, how the components work, if the clasps hold, if the materials are the same as last time, how long the shipping takes, and whether the supplier actually answers you if something goes wrong or not. A cheaper component isn't cheaper if it creates returns, if it creates repairs, and if it creates unhappy customers. And a supplier also isn't necessarily reliable just because the first order went well. There could be problems with future orders as well, so you definitely need to do test batches. You also need to keep records of everything that you order. You have to keep records of what you ordered, the prices that you paid for them, when you ordered it, the quantity, if you had any problems with those orders. Try and do it when you place your orders too, because sometimes you might order something, say for $2.50, and then the next time you place an order, it could be $2.75. You might order something and it could take like a week and a half to ship, and then the next time it could take 3 weeks to ship. I've had problems with orders in the past before. I've ordered beads because I wanted to start selling beaded necklaces, and they said that they were real, authentic stone beads, and they arrived as plastic, and I had to fight with the supplier to get a refund and to get my money back. I've also had problems in the past before where I was going to start doing sterling silver because I used to do engraving, and I didn't, I made the mistake of not ordering small batches. I placed a large order, and it was a very expensive order, and the product that I got wasn't even sterling silver. And my mistake was waiting until past the return period, and I never actually tested the materials because it had the marking on it of 925. The supplier got really good reviews on the website that I ordered from, and I just automatically assumed, okay, because it has the 925 marking on it and because the supplier gets good reviews, that this has to be sterling silver. And I didn't find out until later on that it wasn't even sterling silver. So just be very careful about anything that you order online, especially if it comes from other countries, and especially if you're ordering things that are very expensive materials. Make sure that you're testing everything. Make sure that you get yourself a testing kit if you're getting into sterling silver, or if you're getting into gold. Do very small samples first so that you're able to test those materials. And if anything goes wrong with the order, please don't wait, guys, because sometimes there's only certain return periods, and some platforms don't have the ability for you to be able to open up a case. Sometimes you have to open up cases with your credit cards. So just keep track of everything. This one is also very important to me. This I hold very, very dear to my heart because this happened to me. So I would still use social media and marketplaces to reach people, but I would not build your business on a marketplace. I would definitely recommend building your own website. So this happened to me. I've sold on other platforms, tons of other platforms, some platforms that don't even exist anymore. I'm actually going to make a whole entire video about this. I'm not going to talk too much about it now. So I had been selling on this platform for a very long time, and this was a platform that I did very well on. I was actually able to quit my job and start my jewelry business full time, and they ended up shutting down my shop on this platform for a very ridiculous reason. And I would not recommend putting all of your eggs into one basket. I would recommend having your website more than anything, because any platform that you sell on, no matter what platform it is, marketplace, they could change their fees, they could change their rules, they can change the algorithm, and they can cut your reach, and they can also shut down your account. And that happened to me. But please, guys, don't rely on a platform. Please make your own website. You can make your own website on Shopify. It's very easy. It's very inexpensive. Or if you guys know how to do your own website, you could build your own website from scratch, and just don't rely on other platforms. So today, if you're just starting, I would definitely recommend collecting customer emails. There's a lot of great ways to collect customer emails and build an email list. And you can also start your own website. But there is a lot of great platforms that you can sell on, especially if you want to do something similar to me. I know that if you do Shopify, there is a way that you could do like a custom charm builder on Shopify. They have a lot of great apps on there. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy from the start. You could literally just have good products, have good photos, have good descriptions, and you could just start small, and you could build your own business on your own platform. Make sure that you also have a good way for people to stay connected with you, your social media platforms, so that customers can have a way to follow you, they could stay in touch with you, and that they could stay connected with your website. Your followers and your reviews are useful, but your website, your email list, and your customer relationships are going to be the most important things in your business. When I first started posting, I kind of just spent so much time overthinking about what to post. I would say, if this is not good enough, I'm not going to post it. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. Don't spend time perfecting a coordinated feed. You can make content that helps someone and decide to buy your product, and honestly, that is good enough. Show someone what the jewelry looks like on. You can show the real size and the scale of the jewelry. You could show how it moves. You could show how it catches the light, how the clasp works, how the materials are different. There's so many different ways that you could represent your products, and your posts don't need to be perfect. Show your packaging. People love to see your packaging and how your products are packaged. So yes, beautiful photos and good content get attention, but information and trust is what's going to make the sales. And show the person behind it too. I know some people are kind of afraid to be on camera. They might not want to show their face, but try and show your face on camera. I was very, very shy when I first started selling online. I was probably one of the shyest people that you would ever meet before, which I know that you might not believe me, but I was. And when I started selling online and I started doing the live selling, that's really what got me out of my shell and what got me start posting more in front of the camera. So try and do it more, try and practice. I promise that you're overthinking it and people probably just don't care as much as you think that they do, but try and start showing your face more. People love to see the person that's behind the brand. A lot of my videos that I've posted about me choosing the materials or choosing the charms or packaging the orders, those have always done really well for me. So people love to see things like that. Okay, and the last point that I'm going to discuss is launch before it feels perfect. I know that you think that you might have to have every single thing perfect. You might have to have the pictures perfect. You might have to have the website perfect. You might have to have the packaging perfect, but that is not true at all. Set a launch date, start selling before you feel ready. The first pieces that I ever made, I put them up for sale and my pictures were not that great at all. I promise you. My packaging was basic and I had doubts about everything. My original packaging was a bubble mailer. It was just like a white bubble mailer, and then I used a craft envelope, and I had like the clear Ziploc looking bag thing, and the jewelry would go in there. It would go into the craft envelope, and then it would go into the bubble mailer. So I promise you guys, everything doesn't have to be perfect before you start selling your products. You're going to doubt your photography, you're going to doubt the pricing, but that's just something that's normal. You're always going to feel like there are things that you can change, but you know what the best part is? You can change those things. You could be changing things all the time. I can't tell you the number of times I've redesigned my website and now I'm finally 100% happy with my website, and it's going to stay the way that it is now for a long time. But you will always want to be changing things about your business. So you can't always think your way into knowing what customers are going to want to buy. You need real reactions, you need real questions, and you need real sales. So open up that website, get your business started, start taking photos if you have your products made already. If you don't have your products made already, start making your products. So launch your first collection, focus on your first customers, and study the results. See what products got attention, see what products sold, see what questions people asked, and see where they dropped off at checkout. Your first launch doesn't have to prove that you've built the perfect jewelry brand, but it has to give you enough evidence to help you make the next decision. How much money do you actually need to start a jewelry business? That's the next video.